was invited to Lagos to meet with Seyi. I met with Seyi and the Minister for Youth. The Minister for Youth, when he saw me, he hugged me in Lagos. We talked, and I was to be offered 100 million naira. But the thing is, it's not all about money. There are things which I stand for. You cannot ask me to begin to promote a president who has not done something for me to say he has done it. If he does something good, I will promote him. We will support him as the president and commander-in-chief. But where he is, you cannot say I should keep quiet. I won't do that. That we couldn't settle. And they felt that I'm being stubborn not to accept money and to come to Lagos without accepting money and going back. So they planned my abduction, and on the 15th, I was abducted. Of April, I was abducted, stripped naked, beaten seriously in collaboration with the MD of NTA. The MD of NTA, I was packaged to NTA to make involuntary statement that I am no longer, that I have renounced my position as NANS president. I did that to gain my freedom, but immediately I released a press statement that I was forced, it was under duress, and because I was naked, I was beaten. They claimed that they will share the video. That Seyi told them that they can share the video, nothing will happen. And that even if they kill me, he will order. That was the word Ladoja used. It is Ladoja that is telling me this. That he will instruct, yes, he will instruct the Inspector General of Police to cover it up. And if he doesn't do that, he will go. So I now ask, even this morning when somebody was telling me that, you know who Seyi is, I say, yes, Seyi is an ordinary citizen like myself. He's not occupying any official position. I told them yesterday, I made it clear, that even if I'm coming to this hall and I'll be shot, I'll still come to this hall. At the end, today, the inauguration is concluded and I'm the NANS president. I want Nigerians to know what has happened and that we are not going to give up and that Seyi can do anything he wants to do. He's already in this hotel. This inauguration wouldn't have held. You can see the organization is not correct. See the way the things was hurriedly done. I told the MC, quickly start. Don't do no protocol. Do the inauguration as long as though they will be arresting or killing the NANS president now, who controls over 40 million Aluta forces. So I want to, for the want of time, I don't want to take much of our time, but I have told you in brief. So we cannot say, the most important thing which my government, which we want to do as leaders of NANS, is that we will fight the cultists. We will take away cultism from NANS, the touts from NANS. They are just a bunch of touts and criminal elements. When politicians want to do anything, they recruit them to do all of these things, and that is what we have come to fight. I need your support for us to be able to do this, because without you supporting me, supporting our leadership, there's no way we'll be able to achieve this, because these people have gone far. They have no shame. I want to say, finally, that Seyi Tinubu is a very bad example to the Nigerian youth. And the worst thing that will happen to Nigeria will be for Seyi Tinubu to become the governor of Lagos State. He has no shame, he has no character. I have been strapped naked. He has my video in his phone. If we are in a country where things work, they are supposed to trace that in his phone, and he should be prosecuted. I do not know if what he wants to do with my naked video in his phone. It is also in the phone of the senior special assistant to the president on student affairs. The secretary, while we went to submit a letter to the Minister of Defense, the essay to the Minister of Defense told him that he saw my naked video while they were beating me. That is also in his own phone. This is the country that we are, but they are making a mistake with the wrong person. The honest solution to this for them to do the right thing, or they should quickly terminate my life. I thank you very much for listening, Your Excellency.
First thing I want to say here is this. Only an accursed slave, an accursed Yoruba slave or APC slave that will debunk this, that will say this is not true. Now, the first I want you to take note of in this guy's speech, number one, is the audacity he used to deliver his speech. Check it. He was not minimizing words. He was not looking for words. Like when somebody is trying to lie, you see the audacity is there, number one. Number two, what made me believe this guy? I want to give you fact. During hunger protest, remember, popular activist and human rights lawyer Deji Adeyanju accused Seyi Tinubu and one other person. When they got to National Stadium to protest, remember, they told them to go inside the stadium to protest. He said what made they wanted to go, but what made them to refuse was that they saw that Seyi Tinubu and one other government official came with some buses. If you remember this story, came with some buses loaded with touts. Number one. Number two, that made me believe This guy said he was made under duress after they tried to lure him with 100 million. If this guy may be fool, what is 100 million for God's sake? 100 million naira in this era we are waiting will be 100 million. Now, they tried to lure with 100 million, he refused. You understand? Now, as if that was not enough, after they dealt with him, whatever they do to him, after doing that, guess what? They made it to make that confession under duress. The only difference between what Seyi Tinubu just did in this case of this guy, right, and what his father did when he was contesting for Lagos State Governor, I'm trying to remember that his major popular opponent, guess what? Overnight, that guy was by him. Even FFK, that is dancing as one of his slaves today, accused him. Overnight, they buy him like what they did to this guy. So, like I said, it is only an APC slave, a Yoruba slave, that will say this is not true. Everything here is true. Checking this guy, say, with the way he's been carrying himself, with the way he's trying to even contest the post of vice president with Shetima, I don't need to hear this guy to know what Seyi Tinubu is up to. A serpent can never give birth to a dove. A rabbit can never give birth to a lion. A lion can never give birth to a cat. A cat can never give birth to a tiger. No, you must give birth to your kind. You must. When I look at my kids, both the male and the female, there are some traces in me that I see in them. And I also was the bad traces in me. Because I'm not perfect. I got a lot of my own in my body. Some things I know in me, I don't want to see my kids. I look at them careful. The moment I see it, I say, no, don't do this. They'll say me that you do it. Now, I got a reflex action, right? There's a reflex action I got. From baby, my daughter will look at you, want to try. I say, don't let it. It's a bad habit that master me. I don't want to see you do it. Are you guys understanding me? So you always give birth to your kind. But it's not led for that godly parent, godly father to say, my son, I may have made this mistake. I may have done leave this like that. Please don't leave it to destroy you. That's why you see some of these promiscuous single mothers and all. They will be using promiscuity. You understand? Okay, that talks for PG. They say use promiscuity till they live, right? Till they feed. But they will never let their children to be part of that, to grow up to be part of that. No, they want to bring their children up in a decent way. But for what I've said, Seyi Tinubu, father John Baron, Papa na Barawo, Papa na really Papa be killer. Everybody, Tinubu is known for anything notorious. Tinubu is known for anything dubious, and he has succeeded in inculcating that into the soul. Is glaring, is clear, except in the person somebody's we say if the person is a daft, he's not an intelligent person. You cannot study Seyi Tinubu from afar. Somebody look at it, he went there saying, my father is the best president that ever president in Nigeria. Look at whenever I see Seyi Tinubu, that can't what I say. If I see Seyi Tinubu, I they see best eye. You understand? I'm trying to say, I've done series of videos against Seyi Tinubu before now. I think last year some people were saying you are jealous, be jealous of Seyi. Papa will be saying, my person before he become governor, presidency where he will get that we don't wait. I take get her. It's Tifa. So I'll call him heavier for such. God forbid. God forbid. There's something you guys don't know. I'm glad. God bless this NANS president. God bless you a million times. God bless your seed. God bless anything that concerns you. He has just proven that there are some of us who believe that if we may be hungry, but a blessed garri will still be preferred eat that is better than a cold salad. A blessed garri, that is how my father trained me. My father was not having too much, but he gave us sound, good home training. He gave all his children sound home training. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, God has used this Nigeria to prove that there are still distinguished Nigeria out there. I may not have what you are trying to offer, but I have my integrity intact. I can never, because of pottage, and sell my birthright. Look at the estate in that way too. Is it? I kept on accusing Tinubu. Tinubu and Sanwo-Olu, they were the one that my people elected to. I keep on because there was never a day I've changed my mind. How do I know? When that thing happened, Tinubu was in France. When Tinubu came back, they interviewed him. What he had to say about the electing this thing. What did this Oswald? What did he have to say? He said, What were the protesters? What were they doing at the toll gate? And at what time were they there? When you saw video, you have out soldiers with weapons of by people. The videos are there. All you could say, because your child is not involved, you say, what were they doing there? And you say, at what time were they there? When yourself, you are once led protest and youth are crying for police brutality. So that was when I concluded on. I just said to myself, forget anything that be flying right about Tinubu. Forget it. But with this, I've seen this guy na job around. This guy na be. I know my sort of good English. You understand what I'm trying to say? That was when I rated him. And when that succeeded his national presidency. At all days, Tinubu that is about 90 something, he was able to reduce his age. He went the period he went to Wikipedia, the daughter went there to edit their age. And how can your daughter be 60 something years and you are 70 something years? Tinubu, the dynasty of Tinubu is criminality. Criminality. Don't go to dictionary or Google to check the definition of criminality. Just look at Tinubu. These are the perfect example, perfect definition of criminality. These people, I beg you, I don't fear that, Papa. May God punish me, I go fear them. This video will be like a, so that Facebook and YouTube can recommend it. This video, share it, let the world see. Thank you and God.
NANS President Comrade Atiku Abubakar Issa alleged that Seyi Tinubu kidnapped, beat, and forced him to endorse a preferred candidate under duress. Let's take a look at that.
2 days to Salah, I was invited to Lagos to meet with Seyi. I met with Seyi and the Minister for Youth. The Minister for Youth, when he saw me, he hugged me in Lagos. We talked, and I was to be offered 100 million naira. But the thing is, it's not all about money. There are things which I stand for. You cannot ask me to begin to promote a president who has not done something for me to say he has done it. If he does something good, I will promote him. We will support him as the president and commander-in-chief. But where he is, you cannot say I should keep quiet. I won't do that. That we couldn't settle. And they felt that I'm being stubborn not to accept money and to come to Lagos without accepting money and going back. So they planned my abduction, and on the 15th, I was abducted. Of April, I was abducted, stripped naked, beaten serious.
Now, this meeting was ongoing, and he just spoke about the first time he was attacked. Now, let's talk about the most recent attack, which allegedly took place in the FCT, the Wells Carlton Hotel. Now, eyewitnesses have now come out to say that in fact students were assaulted and threatened by thugs, which is a disparity from the reports that we got yesterday that no one had been attacked. Now, we have a brief look at the moment that the thugs came into the venue. Of course, cameras had been broken, and this particular cameraman was able to salvage just 10 seconds of the moment the attack began. Take a look.
How many of Nigerian citizens that, what is that?
Well, the former Senate president of NANS has now released another statement restating their point that, in fact, the NANS president was attacked by Seyi Tinubu's thugs, in quote. Let's take a look at the statement that he exclusively released to Arise News.
The president's son debunked the claim by NANS that he ordered thugs to disrupt their inauguration. I want to let the whole world know that, and even the management of the hotel, according to Arise TV in the morning, that they said there was nothing of such that happened within the premises of the hotel. There is a black Lexus. That was the black Lexus that the president's son bought. And there's another CNG bus. It's one of those buses that was shared to the student by the president. Was also there. That was the bus that contained those thugs, that brought those thugs to the venue. And they burgled into the venue and started macheting people. They macheted the president. You can see the picture of the president there. He was macheted, he was brutalized, and he was seriously injured. As he stands, as I speak to you, he's under serious health condition. We don't know where it will lead to, but we have to make the whole world knows that this is the current situation that we have found ourselves in a country that is meant to be protected by the government. Ever since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has assumed office as the president of Nigeria, his son has done everything to hijack the structure of the organization. But we thank God for the progressive-minded stakeholders who have been resisting and will continue to resist him.